Welcome to Change Bites with Rafaa Mustafa, where change management insights are shared in small, practical bites. Tune in for actionable tips and real-world strategies, with an infographic summary available on the Agile-Brainz LinkedIn page and website. Let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, and welcome to Change Bites. And today we are diving into something that every change manager needs to get right: change success metrics. Whether you're rolling out a new system, shifting behaviors, or embedding policy, you will need the right measures in place to show what's working and what's not. In this episode, we will cover 5 important areas to get right when it comes to measuring change success. Number 1, the case for why metrics matter. Number 2, why it's essential to align them with strategic goals. Number 3, what to measure so you know the change is landing and adding value. Number 4, how to make them practical and trackable. And finally, what to do when your metrics fall short. Let's bite into it. First up, why do metrics matter? Let's unpack the value behind measuring change. Metrics matter because without them, we are flying blind. We don't know what's working, what's not, or where we need to adjust. They give us evidence, not assumptions, and guide where to support, adapt, or improve. As change managers, it's our role to educate leaders on why these measures matter. We need to position metrics as a leadership tool, one that shifts conversations from gut feel to grounded evidence, guiding better decisions and building trust in the change journey. And one of the most effective ways to build that trust: co-design the metrics with leaders. Get in the room with key sponsors and ask, what does success look like to you? That simple question opens the door to shared ownership and makes the measures more meaningful. Next up, connect your metrics to the bigger picture. Knowing what to measure is one thing, but knowing why it matters to the business is where the real impact lies. Metrics become far more powerful when they are tied to what the organization is actually trying to achieve. That's where you build a compelling case for change. For example, if you're rolling out a new system, don't just report on logging rates. Show how the system supports a bigger goal, like reducing risk, improving safety, or speeding up decision-making. That alignment turns your change from a project into a strategic enabler. Don't just measure the tool, measure the impact it enables. Now, let's talk about how to keep it simple. You don't need dozens of KPIs. Just 3 to 5 focused metrics can give you a solid, well-rounded picture of how your change is landing. So, here are key areas to prioritize: productivity, compliance, and engagement. Productivity metrics show whether the change is making work faster, easier, or more accurate. You might track how long a process takes before and after go live, or how often errors or rework occur. Compliance metrics track whether people are following policies, processes, or guidelines as intended. This really matters when the change carries risk or could affect the organization's reputation. For instance, you might track if staff are following data handling rules, like avoiding uploads of sensitive information to public platforms like ChatGPT. engagement metrics look at whether people are truly using the change and applying it in the day-to-day work. One way to assess this is by looking beyond training attendance. For example, a 30% drop in support tickets post-go live combined with 85% logging rates and 70% task completion can indicate not just awareness, but confident adoption. Pair that with strong user feedback, and it's a powerful sign the change has truly landed well. These three areas give you a clear picture of whether the change is working in practice, not just in a project report. Another key area is turning your metrics into action. Start by making your metrics quantifiable. That means turning broad ideas like awareness or adoption into something measurable, like percentage of users logging in, percentage of tasks completed, or time saved per transaction. Quantifiable metrics give you a baseline and make it easier to track progress over time. Once you've nailed down what to measure, ask yourself 3 questions. When will you measure it? How will you capture the data? Via dashboards, surveys, or observations? And who will be responsible for tracking it? Some metrics, like a reduction in support tickets, can be tracked during early go-live. But others, especially those related to behavior change or long-term adoption, may need to be measured 2 to 3 months after go-live. That's why it's critical to assign ownership early, whether it's a business unit, a BAU team, or the PMO. That's only part of the picture, because tracking is just the start. What matters just as much is how you share those insights to keep people engaged and informed. So, once you've set up your measures, put a clear plan in place for reporting and sharing progress, whether that's through simple traffic light dashboards, regular updates in governance packs, or short, meaningful summaries shared with leaders and change champions. And finally, what to do if metrics fall short? And what if your numbers aren't looking great? Maybe people aren't engaging or the productivity gains haven't landed yet. Don't panic. It's not failure, it's feedback. Start by asking, were people trained properly? Do they feel supported? Are there blockers or competing priorities? Gaps in your metrics help you zoom in on what's not sticking and adjust. Maybe you need a refresher session, a new support channel, or a simplified process. The key is to use data as a guide, not a scorecard. It's not about passing or failing, it's about learning and improving. Let's quickly recap the key areas to focus on when building and using metrics that matter. First, talk to leaders about the value of metrics. They're not just reports, they help us track what's working and where to take action. Second, link your metrics to strategic goals to build a stronger case for adoption. Third, focus on small set of meaningful metrics like productivity, engagement, and compliance. Fourth, make them trackable. Define when to measure, how to measure, and who's responsible. And finally, if the numbers fall short, treat it as feedback, not failure. Adjust, support, and keep moving forward. Thanks for tuning in to Change Bites. Until next time, keep driving meaningful change.
Thanks for tuning in to Change Bites. We hope these insights inspire meaningful change. For more resources, follow Agile-Brainz on LinkedIn and check the podcast notes for all shared links. Be sure to follow the podcast for more tips.